I do wrap, but it's not a full wrap. It's called a full boat. So I put the foil around the brisket and leave the top exposed. Just gives it a better render at the top, makes the fat a little bit more crunchy. We put our Caribbean flair on it. So
Yeah.
that's what separates us from every other Texas style barbecue restaurant.
A+. What's up, you guys? Today we are coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee at the one, the only Backbone Barbecue. Let's get a good look at this food truck because it is giving vibrancy, color, and all the good things. I cannot wait to try this food. This review has been months in the making, literally since last year, and we finally have been able to make it happen. So let's go ahead and interview, do our food review, and do what we do.
I am Stuart McLean, and we're at Backbone Barbecue here today with Pretty Girl Food Reviews. I'm so glad they're here and can't wait for them to try our food.
Yes, and let me just say, y'all, when Pretty Girl Food Review was a teeny weeny little baby and we went to Les Barbecue, he commented on the video and said, you know I'm not Les, but you should come out to Nashville and try the food. So I've finally been able to align my schedule, their schedule and everything. So we're making it happen. Let's kick things off with, you did your intro, but how did you get your start in the food space? And just give us a little history about this truck, because it looks so rustic and edgy and just food truckish.
Okay, sure. So I got my start. I'm originally from Texas, East Texas, actually Tyler, Texas. That's where my family's originated from. My father's from the Caribbean. He's from Trinidad. And so as a kid, I was always in the kitchen with my grandma, around the pits with my great uncles. They were all pit masters. They would serve barbecue after work. And that's just kind of how we've always had it in our family. It was a hustle for us, a way to make extra cash for the family. And I started the same way in my backyard, cooking smoked turkeys for the holidays. And that blew up, and started doing catering, and then eventually worked my way to a food truck. So
that is a wonderful story. What would you say is your favorite menu item? Or, this might be a two-part question actually, from what you did learn from other family members, have you replicated or tweaked it to your own, or were there any staples that you were like, no, I'm definitely taking that with me?
Okay, so I would say the brisket is probably my favorite item.
Okay.
That is a family staple. I would say I've taken bits and pieces of the family recipe and made it my own.
Okay.
Texas barbecue has evolved over the years, and so traditionally my great uncles will wrap their briskets in foil. I don't, so that's one of the major differences. Okay. I do wrap, but it's not a full wrap. It's called a full boat. So I put the foil around the brisket and leave the top exposed. Just gives it a better render at the top, makes the fat a little bit more crunchy. And so I think that's the main difference. Another favorite item would be the smoked oxtails. I talked about those in the review that you did with Les.
Yes.
I'm like, I definitely want you to try my oxtails. So that's another one of the favorites. And obviously our smoked wings. Everybody loves our smoked wings. So
Okay, I'm very excited for those. We occasionally get chicken in the reviews. Sometimes we don't, but it seems like most of the time it's your usual brisket, pork ribs, oxtail. You might see turkey, and you might see chicken. So I'm very excited to know that you do have the chicken wings. And then, how long have you been in your own, independently, since you left the family business?
Yeah, so I started catering full time about 5 years ago.
Okay.
I've been an entrepreneur for going on 7 years now, full time. I've just had various businesses that I've started and run. So this is my baby, and I opened the food truck last November in the middle of winter, which wasn't a good idea. I'm just gonna put that out there. If you're starting a food truck business, don't start in the winter. It was so cold. The first couple of months here, it was like watching paint dry, because some people were like, I'm not coming out in the cold to get food.
Right.
So we, now that it's warming up, people are coming over. It's been pretty busy.
For sure.
And so yeah, we're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you gave a little bit of advice. Do you have additional advice that you feel like is worth sharing with other entrepreneurs, whether it's in the culinary space or you've had other ventures, even outside of the culinary world? What do you feel like is that sound advice that can maybe get somebody to the next day to keep on keeping on?
Don't give up. I think that's the biggest advice I can give you. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's peaks and valleys. It's not linear. It's like a roller coaster. And then you'll find some linear paces, but most times it's a roller coaster. And you just kind of get used to it. You got to get used to the ups and downs. The one thing I can say is if you're starting a food truck business or a business in general with food, make sure you get good insurance, make sure you get all your permits in order. That took me about 6 months to get all of the necessary permits. And then they have the fire department come out and check all of your things, and the water department and health department. So that process can be expensive and it can be time consuming. So account for that. And just be good to people. I think, when people come, show them a lot of respect, a lot of love, and treat people like you want to be treated. That's the big thing with business.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Because with a small business, when it comes to barbecue, I mean, they could go to a City Barbecue. They could go to Sweet Auburn, more of those more established type places. So definitely, fostering that hometown, small town business owner type of relationship is definitely important. Well, I think we've done enough talking. Y'all, this has been months in the making. Yep. I'm ready to try the food.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for everything, and let's get set up for the actual review.
All right, sounds good. Thank y'all so much. I'll get everything set up for you guys and get some food out to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all, so we got our spread of food. We are waiting on the wings to come out. So they're still making sure those are nice and hot and ready to go. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Everything literally looks so good. Matter of fact, I mean, we see glistening, we see cheesiness. It's giving, and not to discredit the man at all, but it's giving Hamburger Helper mac and cheese. That's what it looks like, but I know it's gonna taste better than that, of course. Some smoked cabbage, oxtails, brisket burnt ends, which I've never had before, and then regular brisket. Immediately, I'm gonna start with the brisket. For starters, that is obviously a thicker slice of brisket than I'm, generally used to having on the channel. But it looks very juicy and moist still. So I'm gonna this is what we finna like. A+. It's got the salt. That bark is a perfect balance of seasoning on there. It is decently moist. It's not like a heavy moisture, but very nice, strong start. I knew from just a look of it that I was going to be very satisfied. And y'all know anytime your girl goes in for a second bite, your girl loves it. I'm getting a lot of fat, very fatty piece. Pickled onions make them himself. There's like a tinge of sweetness, but the tart goes crazy on it. I like this a lot. Brisket burnt ends. Again, I've never had this cut of the brisket before. I'm immediately noticing, excuse me, this bark here is very, very much thicker, and it feels a little more coarse. So let's see if it's got like a crunch with it. A mild crunch. Very nice. I see why brisket was one of the first menu items he listed for sure. It wasn't bad. A really interesting thing though, the burnt end wasn't as salty as this cut of the brisket, which neither one of them were bad, but this was able to have, I feel like, a stagnant flavor, the end. compared to like the slice that I had, but still very good. Very happy with it. We know it, we love it. Also, we know it so well at this point, oxtail. And keep in mind too, you guys, he does like a Caribbean twist with his barbecue. So, and I say that immediately because I'm noticing a very dark color already. I guess some would probably say on the verge of being burnt, but maybe it's that Korean, you know, flair that he was talking about. So let's taste it and see though. Immediately, Caribbean flavors, I can taste them. And the smoke flavor is insane. Very nice. It's not salty like I'm used to having on the channel with oxtails. Maybe that's a differentiation too with the whole Caribbean twist on it. But it definitely tastes nice and slow flavor wise. It's a good flavor. I can't put my finger on it, I think, because I'm not used to Caribbean flavors, but it is very good. And again, bone is clean. In my opinion, it's very tender. We can, like I said, see the color. It is cooked very well. It's cooked all the way. But I'm not mad at it. A good introduction to Caribbean style flared oxtail. I'll give him that for sure. Next we have that flavor on the oxtail is so refreshing too, because you're not getting like just that salty representation like I said, like I feel like we usually get with the oxtail. So it's very refreshing. I'm gonna move into the cabbage and the mac and cheese now. I'll clean up my hands a little bit. Okay. And again, this is that smoked cabbage. I've never had smoked cabbage. Sorry if you guys heard that, my bracelet in the mic. That is very nice. The spice kick is very strong. The cabbage is cooked very well. You've got some of those firmer, thicker pieces, as well as those softer, finer sliced pieces of cabbage too. The flavor is, I feel like it's a very bright flavor, but at the same time it's very mild. Like, it's not an aggressive flavor. I feel like I'm getting hints of like garlic, just all the good Caribbean vibes. Like I said, your girl isn't too familiar with Caribbean style cuisine on the channel, but it is very good. It is not a boring dish at all. Okay. Going into this mac and cheese. I'm so interested to see how this is about to taste. Immediately I'm noticing the cheese is like not coagulating together, which is very nice. So it hasn't been sitting. It's fairly fresh. But let's taste it and see. I'm seeing hella spice, hella color. So nice. The noodles, the pasta have kept its shape so it's not overcooked. Creamy, cheesy, cohesive, velvety, just smooth. This is very good. The seasoning, like the color that you get, like the seasoning sprinkles, whatever the dry sprinkle seasoning he used, are singing straight through. I think it carries it a long way. It cuts in between like just that cheese flavor that you taste from the cheese itself. But it enhances the good old mac and cheese. This is very, very nice. Very, very good. Legitimately. I'm salivating so much. We're waiting on the chicken wings. But everything has been fire. Fire, fire, fire. So I'm gonna pick y'all back up and do my outro once I get these chicken wings. Get into it, you guys. We have a beautiful golden brown looking color on these smoked wings, and then these are the spare ribs. I will say, I don't recall encountering any ribs that look of this, like how hefty and like quality top tier this looks to be a pork rib. I'm not used to that at all. But let's get right into it and see what we got going on. I'm gonna go with this one. Looks the most dusted, like decorated, so I'm gonna get into this one. And they are very hot. Woo. Maybe I'm gonna hop over to the rib first. I was so enthusiastic with that wing too. Okay, let's get into this rib. It's definitely got some, some flexibility to it. It's not a stiff rib. Let's taste it and see though. Looks like it's gonna come apart effortlessly. Okay. I don't know why I didn't pick it up and bite it, y'all. I don't know why I didn't do it. While it doesn't necessarily need any sauce, I'm enjoying the sauce so much. I wish that there was more on there. And I'm sure I could ask for some more too. But this is very nice. I'm definitely getting that smoky presence saying, hey, I'm here for sure. The seasoning is like nothing I've ever had on a rib before. I don't know. He's doing a lot of things different and, of his own. And he's had so much passed down from family and tweaked it on his own. But the flavor is very, very refreshing. I feel like usually when I have pork ribs, they just kind of taste very bland or basic or just kind of just flat. But this has actual flavor on it. Very nice. If he gets a chance to come, if he comes back over here before I wrap up and finish, I'm definitely gonna ask him because I can't put my finger on what that flavor is. Let's try this. It's still a little hot. And this ranch is homemade ranch. I'm gonna have to do ranch first. I know you should do it without, but this is too hot. That ranch is very nice. And the smoky wing is a classic smoky wing. It's what you would expect. It checks all the boxes, hits all the points. And the lemon pepper is so mild. I chuckle because, Atlanta, we do lemon pepper like none other. And it's definitely got a sweetness to it too. This is a lemon herb dry seasoning or dry rub that he put on here. But like I said, it's what you would expect in a smoky wing. Nothing tastes off or like a missed target. So straight to the point. I would expect with all those years of practice that he's had too with just barbecuing and smoking and culinary that he would, do what he needs to do. And he's definitely doing it. Very nice. Hey, I'm trying to explain to them the pork rib flavors, but I can't put my finger on it. Can you help me kind of convey that to them?
Yeah, so the pork rib is a Texas spare rib, which is our traditional rub, and then it's a Carolina Gold barbecue sauce on it. So they're just a blend of flavors, a little mashup.
Okay.
How did it taste? You think it's good?
It's definitely good, and I think too because I think I can't remember that far back, but the previous Texas reviews I've done, I haven't had pork spare ribs.
Oh, okay.
So when you said it's a Texas style, I don't know what a Texas style pork rib really tastes like for the most part. So, okay, that makes sense.
So Texas spare ribs are usually a bigger cut of spare ribs. Usually sometimes you see like a St. Louis cut.
Yes.
Those are similar to that, except for it's a little bit more meat on them. I try to get the really thick ones. They usually are a bit juicier and more flavor.
For sure.
And so that's the reason why I went with that cut of ribs.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we get them with our dry rub. We have our own in-house dry rub that goes on the spare rib. We smoke them, and then we finish them with a little bit of sauce. So.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. I'm telling y'all need to take my word and what I be trying to explain to y'all, because I was grasping for the explanation to give to describe the flavor, but I couldn't do it. You had me defeated on that one. But everything was great. The smoky wing was just like a classic. It's what you would expect in a smoky wing. It wasn't anything over the top or, you know, ooh, but like I said, it was classic. Cannot go wrong with the classic. But overall, everything was great. I love the house-made ranch because you don't get a weird aftertaste or like a lingering about it. But it was very fresh. Everything was great. This is a wonderful introduction to reintroduction to Texas style barbecue, in addition to the Caribbean flares that we had also.
Yeah, so we do a Texas style barbecue traditionally, but we put our Caribbean flair on it. So that's what separates us from every other Texas style barbecue restaurant.
For sure.
Some of the flavors are a mashup of those two cuisines. So get the Texas and the Caribbean flavors together, which creates something unique on its own. So.
And I feel like too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess generally with pork ribs, they have a darker color to it maybe, and more of a firmness, because I told them that it had a lot of give and a lot of flexibility to it. Okay.
So I can smoke my ribs longer to give them like that darker mahogany color. Sometimes it just depends on the cut of rib. Like that particular slab of ribs was done before it got to that really, really dark color. I don't usually spritz my ribs, which gives it it's what turns it that color. And so the reason why I don't is because I want the fat to render down. It makes the rib a little bit more tender in my opinion. So.
No, it was definitely very tender, easily. Like as soon as I started lifted and I started to say the word that looks like it started to literally fall apart. So there we have it. But everything was great. Everything was everything.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all traveling down, and if you're ever in Nashville again, come back and see me.
Absolutely, of course we will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm gonna do my outro now. I lost my train of thought a little bit. Okay, so we've reached the end of the review. I hope you guys have enjoyed what you guys saw. If you're in the Nashville area, anywhere nearby, close quarters, Murfreesboro, where you call Nashville, that's not really Nashville, just like we do in Atlanta, come out and try Backbone Barbecue. They are a small business, still growing and finding their way, but they're doing everything great. I keep looking at the food because everything was so great and I had such a good experience. But yes, you will not be disappointed. Of course, like a lot of places too, some days he serves something, some days he serves other things. Check out their Instagram. Everybody's on Instagram now. Make sure you give this video a like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things, and hype the video. As always, thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and Pretty Girl loves you, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace. And let's get a good look at this food truck, because I'm talking, I was trying to say color and vibrancy, and I was going to say flavor. It's giving true, the epitome food truck vibes, totally. But, okay, I already do it, sorry. All right, you guys, calm down.